Harness the power of numbers. Data-driven decisions for your law firm owners. Today we're going to talk about how data should help drive the decisions you make for your practice. Okay, and what I mean by this is we need to know the numbers. I speak to law firm owners all the time, learning about their firm, learning about their processes, and trying to identify where they currently stand, trying to figure out their numbers. And I can't tell you how many times I speak to a law firm and I ask them what, in reality, should be a pretty general question, like how many leads do you have a month, or how many people show up to their appointments, and they have absolutely no idea. Look, if that's you right now, I want you to know that's okay. That's why we're having this conversation. I'm putting this video together for you. By the end of this video, you're going to know some of the things you should be tracking and how those numbers and those metrics can help you make some really important decisions for your practice. Decisions like how much money to invest in marketing. Decisions like whether or not to install a new system. Decisions on hiring, when it's time to hire the right person. Decisions that directly impact the profit you make on the bottom line, how much your firm actually pays you. Decisions that impact all of these huge areas. Now look, you could make decisions using intuition or using your gut. And in some scenarios, that is okay, right? Sometimes you'll do that when you're hiring people, or sometimes you'll do that just because you've got a feeling about something. But here at Your Practice Master, we really like to make decisions based on data. And we have to have our data. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what data am I tracking, Michael? Okay, you're talking about making data-driven decisions. What data? So what we look at is we call it the perfect client lifecycle, right? We're trying to figure out how many leads are we generating. So if we look at this at the top side, leads. So through all of your marketing efforts, whether that's referrals, whether that's paid marketing, direct mail, TV, radio, whatever your marketing streams are, how many leads are we generating from our marketing efforts? If we don't know the answer to that, how do we know which lead source to tap into and maybe invest more dollars in marketing, or which lead sources to cut, or which lead sources to press the gas on, or whether or not we should add more lead sources? It's very difficult to make a very educated decision on that if we don't know how many leads are coming from each lead source and how much money we're actively investing in each lead source. So we start by tracking how many leads we're generating. Then, how many of those leads are turning into a set appointment for your firm, right? We've got to identify, okay, great. Now we know how many leads are coming in, but how many of those leads are actually taking action and setting an appointment? And now it's time to figure out our optimization from lead to set. We call this our set rate. So we're trying to track our set rate. Out of the number of leads that come in, how many of them set an appointment? That'll give you your set rate if you divide that into the number of leads that come in. Awesome. They've set an appointment. Now, out of those people that set an appointment with your firm, how many of them actually show up to their appointment? Right? How many of them actually take the next step and show up to their consultation? And what we're trying to track here is we're trying to track our show rate. So out of the number of people that set appointments, how many of them showed up to their consultation? Well, obviously, in order for us to make an educated decision on marketing, on set rate, on show rate, we need to know those numbers. Oh, and how about next? Out of the people that show up for their consultation, how many hire or retain the firm? How many become paying clients? Well, this is a huge metric, right? This is our close rate. Out of the people that show up for a consultation, how many of them turn into a paying client? I would tell you that most firms have an immediate opportunity there, turning more of their existing consultations into paying clients. Why do I tell you that? I tell you that because if you're able to fix that process first, that'll provide cash flow to go both to the bottom line, and that can also be used to reinvest into marketing and advertising. For example, let me give you one of the classic things I hear from a firm, okay? They've got a sales problem, as I refer to it, or a close rate issue, converting more of their consultations into paying clients. But when I speak to them, what they think the problem is they need more leads. So they think that they need more leads, when in reality, if we have the data, we can quickly look and say, well, no, this isn't a lead issue. You're generating 100 leads a month, and you're getting 50 of them to set an appointment, and you're getting 40 of them to show up, but you're only getting 10 of them to hire your firm. Well, that number should be, depending on your practice area, out of 40 people showing up, closer to 25 to 33 out of 40 retaining the firm. And so if we're not there, why would we go invest more money in marketing and advertising just to put it through at the same percentage ratio and the same close rate? We'd literally be burning money on marketing and advertising. Whereas if we looked at the numbers and we saw that, now we can say, oh, all right, so if I get this up to a 60 to 80% close rate, which is where we want to be, now I'll have more money that'll flow down to the bottom line. And now I could go invest more money in marketing and advertising, because now I'll be able to convert more of those into paying clients. And then, oh, by the way, after you convert them into paying clients, how many of them are actually paying their bill in full? Collections. What is your collection rate? Are you collecting 100% of the money that was actually quoted and that they signed the agreement for? For many firms, the answer to that question is no. And so we have to track how many dollars in relation to the actual sale value are we collecting. Well, this is an important number, because now we're able to identify, okay, if we sell someone a $5,000 service for a trust package, using examples here, right? Are we collecting 80% of that? Are we collecting 100% of that? Are we collecting 90? Are we collecting 60? Where are we? Because that'll help us with projections, and that'll help us determine what cash flow is going to look like. And with those decisions, we can now look at, if you're in a practice area like bankruptcy, how many people are filing cases out of the people that hired the firm? This will help determine, do we need to add staff onto workflow and operations? Do we need to add more staff on appointment setting because we're generating more leads, so we need more appointment setters to answer the phones? Do we need to bring in a non-attorney or an attorney salesperson, because now the owner of the law firm, who also happens to be the attorney, is trying to balance both consultations and all of the legal work, right? All of these decisions can be made by data. Data will give you true, honest answers to some of your biggest decisions that you're going to make in your practice. And some of you went to law school to avoid having to do math. And we're not suggesting you've got to do some rocket science math here. This is general basic arithmetic. But this general basic arithmetic can make a monumental impact in the future and the growth of your practice. So I just wanted to break down the key metrics that you should be looking at and trying to identify when you're trying to make decisions for your practice, decisions that'll impact your growth, decisions that'll impact you personally, your family personally, your finances, your employees, your staff. These are really big decisions. So look, if this video helped you out, I would kindly ask, with our gentleman's agreement, that you take a moment, you click that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe or follow depending on where you're watching or listening, and comment if you have any questions or if this was a light bulb aha moment for you. And we'd love to learn a little bit more about your practice. If you'd like to speak with us about one of the services that we offer here at Your Practice Mastered, we'd love to learn a little bit more about you and your practice and how we may be a fit. I appreciate it. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day.